Welcome to BZTV. We have Ashley Hall here from Utah. She's one of the longest female disc golfers for the PDGA. She's got a really low PDGA number.
What's your number?
25762.
25762. That is low. That's good. So you've been playing for how many years?
18 years.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, we got Ashley here because we wanted to talk about growing women in disc golf, and she actually has clubs in Utah that are doing a great job at growing women's disc golf.
Yeah, we're hoping to learn some things from you. It's great to meet you, Ashley.
Yeah, it's good to meet you guys too.
So tell us a little bit about the success you guys have there. I know you've kind of told us a little bit about it before, like number of players that come out. Give us a little bit of idea what it looks like with the female grouping out there.
So we have three main clubs out here. We've got Nudgo, which is up in Ogden, and then the Salt Lake Club is the Salt Lake Tunnel Runners, and then we actually live out in Orem. We have the Wasatch Disc Golf Club here in Orem. And we probably have, I'd say between the three clubs, we probably have about 200 ladies that play.
It's incredible. Yeah, I'd love to see that around here. And that's why I would like to talk to people like yourself so we can kind of figure out what you're doing, like how many years it's taken you, what you think you've done that's been successful. So us and the people who are watching this video can actually, kind of use those kind of things to kind of grow the sport for women as well. Yeah, the first question.
I love growing the ladies' side, so anything I can do to help, that's always been my passion. When I first started, I think I played for a year straight before I ever met another girl that threw.
Yeah, luckily we have a course here that it's more friendly to new players and more people out there. We do see more ladies playing, but in general in Austin, it's like you just don't see enough women out there playing.
There can never be too many.
For sure. So our first question that we put together was, so the biggest obstacles or barriers that women have in general or playing in leagues or tournaments, what are some of those barriers you think that are really the obstacles that they have to get by to play?
Definitely there's an intimidation factor. When you're first starting out, it takes a lot longer to be able to reach 250 to 300 feet. So a lot of them just get nervous and they don't want to slow people down, so they don't go out.
So how do you guys, your groups, how do you guys deal with that? Do you have like ladies' nights where you just have only women playing together, and that kind of there's less intimidation there, or how do y'all work that?
So I started a ladies' night about 3 years ago, just at the course right down the street from my house. And it's a 9-hole course. It's a shorter course, so there aren't any forced carries. There aren't places you can get into trouble. And it's stroller friendly, which is super useful because a lot of ladies bring their kids. We've opened it up so that they can bring kids to ladies' night, because a lot of the times they don't want to have to try and get a babysitter. So we just bring the kids along and they play with us.
That's awesome.
It's great. You guys made disc golf a family affair so that more people can get involved.
Definitely. Last week we had 4 kids and 10 ladies.
That's awesome.
And how old are these kids that are coming? I know you mentioned strollers, so I'm assuming young kids.
So one of our ladies has a baby that's about 7 months old, and then she's got I believe a 10-year-old daughter that comes, and she throws sometimes she just hangs out. And then one of the other ladies that comes, she's got 2 preteen boys that come out. In fact, one of them got his first ace at ladies' night 2 weeks ago, I believe.
That's awesome. Now he's hooked. He's gonna be coming.
Oh, definitely.
So, and you said you had about 10 women come that night?
Yeah.
Last week? And what's the average amount of ladies you guys have?
I would say it's definitely slowed down with COVID. I think the most we had was about 15 or 16, but we get about 6 to 10 almost every week.
That's good. And the club that you have, do you guys have like incentives for the ladies, like tags, or is there like CTP prizes? What do you guys do for the ladies when they come out?
We do a CTP on hole 4. It's the shortest hole on the course. It's about 160 feet. And that way it gives everyone a chance, even the ones that can't throw as far. And then we also have ladies tags that they buy with the regular general tags, and they're no extra cost for those. In fact, most of the ladies don't even care about their regular tag. They just play for the ladies tags.
That's awesome.
So in tournaments, whenever you see the ladies come out and play, do you see like a developmental stage as far as the ladies who just started playing? How do you guys groom them into playing tournaments, or any kind of stages you take them through? You've talked about you've done some coaching.
Yeah, I offer to do coaching whenever they want. Like, a lot of people want to get more comfortable with just playing at ladies' night, and sometimes I do a little one-on-one coaching beforehand. And honestly, just coming out to ladies' night and watching us hit a tree, even though they know we can throw far, it really relieves the pressure a lot, because they're like, oh, everyone hits trees.
Right. I think it's a great excuse. I mean, bringing the kids out, or even if a woman doesn't have any kids, it's just a nice excuse to get out and walk in the park. And like you said, y'all welcome the ladies come out, even if they're not playing, just come out and kind of hang out and watch what's going on. Just kind of get a little nature walk.
Yeah, we definitely have ladies that don't throw all the time. Like, sometimes they're suffering with injuries and other things, but they still come and hang out with us, because we built a pretty good group and they enjoy being out there.
It's a good excuse to get outside, for sure. You said you have ladies leagues as well. When you have the tournaments, though, how many women usually show up at your ladies tournaments, or your regular tournaments?
So that's a good question. One of the big things we do at the club here is that we will hold registration for the ladies a little longer. Like, we typically hold about 1 card for each division. And by doing that, we're able to round up the ladies, because a lot of them don't play a lot of tournaments, so they don't realize how fast things fill. And then if we don't fill them, eventually they'll go to the waiting list, but that really helps us get a lot more girls out. Believe the last tournament we had 15 ladies, which was 15 or 20% of the entire field.
That's awesome. So you guys do like a little sponsorship drive to get extra ladies to participate, or how do y'all?
So we have a Facebook page where we post and we just let them know, hey, this tournament's coming up, this is what we need. And just getting the word out helps a lot.
Yeah, and usually the best way to get the word out is other ladies playing. So that's kind of first hump. Like, you guys are in a good spot because you have a lot of women playing, so it's probably easier to recruit. You have any suggestions on, if you don't have many women in the club, like what's maybe some pointers to get the couple that you want to get out there?
So what we do is, anytime we go to a course and we see another lady, we let them know about ladies' night. We tell them where they can find us on Facebook. And honestly, even in the last month, I've met 2 or 3 new girls just on Instagram and Facebook. And we're still working on getting them out and meeting them, just playing around together. But just being on there has been a great way to find out.
Social media really helps, right?
Yeah.
You see people that are living in your area, or like in your area, on Instagram or Facebook, and then you invite them to your page and invite them out to a meetup, and that's how you get them participating in your club.
Yeah, I actually met Karina Knowles 9 years ago on Disc Golf Scene, She's sponsored by Innova, super cool girl.
Yeah.
And we talked on there, and we actually met up and went down to the tournament in Las Vegas together.
That's awesome. Tell us about your big win in 2012.
2012. So 2012 was the Creekside Open. I played it for the first time in 2005 when I won advanced in my division. And then I went and played Am Worlds in 2006. So after I played there, I decided to go pro. And 2012 was the same course, and I finally managed to keep it all together and pull off the win. In fact, I remember one of the open guys walking past me after I hit a big putt, and he was like, "Oh wow, girls can putt too."
Oh, that's good. And who were you playing against at that tournament?
Oh, I remember that Karina had me, and we were really close, and I ended up beating her, I think, on the last hole, but that's all I remember. I mean, it's been 8 years, but it was definitely memorable.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's always fun when it's a close race there at the end.
So we talked offline that we're going to try to get you and Karina back on here soon to talk about some of y'all's ideas on growing women in disc golf. But we do have one last question so that we'll finish off the interview, and we'll let Garen ask that question.
Yep, actually we have two. So
two questions?
Yeah, 2 questions left. In your 20 years, what has improved for women over the years, and what would you like to see improve? Have you noticed some milestones, whether it's what you're doing or what PDGA has done or other big companies? Like, what are some of those big things that have happened for women?
I think movements like the Respecter game are important, because then we can see that they're not just isolated incidents, that it's happening all over. And when we know that it's happening all over, we can do better because we know better.
And everybody learns.
And I would say, sorry, what was that?
I said everyone learns from it then, because it's out there and people are communicating.
Yeah. And I would say that what's really improved is our club has been very supportive. We actually, for mixed doubles, they give 2 strokes to the ladies. And that's really helped a lot of people go out and try it out, because they don't feel like they're holding back the team as much, and it helps them with the nerves.
I like that. So
it shows them, hey, we want you out there.
So how's that work with the 2 strokes? So when you start the card, if they get to take an extra shot, or just automatically take 2 strokes off of whatever card?
Just 2 strokes off the final score.
That's cool. That does kind of even the playing field a little bit, make you feel a little better. Hey, I'm bringing this to you. Here's 2 strokes to start off with.
No, you start off with an ace.
Mm-hmm. Anything else have you seen the PDGA or any other tournaments, like the bigger tournaments? Are they catering to the women better than they used to, like bathroom wise, or any of the things that might make it more comfortable?
I think that bathrooms is something that can always be reminded. Like, if you can make it so that we can have a bathroom halfway between, so that when there's a backup, you can run and use the restroom. And also, I think the women's global event has been huge for as far as the PDGA goes. Like, the turnout's been amazing on that. I know a lot of ladies that don't even play any of the other tournaments, and every year they try and make it out to that one, because just having a course full of women is just something special. It's not something you hardly ever get to see.
Yeah, it's amazing. Participated. I not personally participated, but my daughters have participated in it, and I feel like maybe you should be more often. I think it's every other year. Is that what it is, or it used to be? Is it every year now?
I'm not sure. I know that with COVID we didn't do it this year, but I thought it was around Mother's Day every year.
Maybe we should do it twice a year.
It's not a bad idea. I think that'd be a great way for the guys to get involved, help. Because a lot of the women would be happy to run them, but they haven't run tournaments before, and that's an entirely different beast. And I think that's a good one to be like your first tournament that you run.
Yeah, because everybody's doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
You just pick.
And it's very casual. It's a lot less intense than some of the bigger tournaments I've been to.
So any of your ladies events, have you guys ever encouraged the men to come out and like caddy for them?
Yeah, we actually have a mixed doubles tournament every year that Noelle runs in Salt Lake. That one's a lot of fun. And we get a lot of guys coming out. We do the mixed doubles. We get a lot of caddies. They do t-shirts for the caddies. There's also up in Ogden, they do a women's only tournament and they do t-shirts for the caddies. And all the guys are fighting over who gets to be the caddy. We always have more caddies than we do ladies, which I think is great.
I think that is a good thing. And what about the Gomez has obviously done really good for the sport in general, being able to put more good quality disc golf on YouTube. And I know they cover some ladies too. How do you feel about that? Do you think the ladies get enough, or do you think that coverage actually is helping them as well?
I love seeing the ladies coverage. My husband actually prefers to watch the ladies because as a 40-something-year-old man, he feels like his game is more similar to theirs. And he actually, I'm going to embarrass him for a minute, but one of his favorite players is Haley King, and he just loves watching her. And he actually restructured his putting around her putt, and he's an even better putter than he was before.
That's something for all the guys to pay attention to, because you're right, because they can teach us stuff too as far as how they putt, because there's so many different styles.
Yeah.
I actually prefer watching the women's disc golf as well. I mean, I do watch the men's, but I really get excited watching them battle it out. And the cool part is I've met most of them, and it's just good to like cheer on our friends that we know so well, and it's awesome. We got like Lisa Fakis is our hometown hero. She's from Round Rock. We're from Round Rock, and when our friend Sarah Holcomb comes in and visits us, it's awesome.
Yeah, we got Stephanie Vincent. Now we have Chrissy Fountain.
Yeah,
we got some pretty good disc golfers out of here too.
Mm-hmm. Stephanie Vincent and Chrissy are out playing out. They'll travel around and make some marks in the disc golf scene. Chrissy Fountain was at I think she was on the Chase card not too long ago and made the disc golf news. She was like nobody heard of her, and now she's heard of.
Yeah, she's making fourth place in some of the bigger tournaments, right?
Yeah. We love Chrissy Fountain. She's super cool. She actually runs the ladies league here in Austin.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
That with more women that are coming up the chain here, I think it's going to be more like you have developed there. We'll have a better chance of getting more women to play.
Yeah, I actually run ladies' night with Lily. She actually lives just up the street from me, and people were trying to get us to play together for years, and we finally met up, and we get along really well. She helps me run the league, and I'll tell you here first, she's going to beat me really soon here.
Oh, here it comes. You can retire right before she beats you.
I'll just hide out in Masters.
Right? Keep your number one bag tags like, no, I'm not playing this time. All right, so last question to wrap it up. So what do you think will make new players comfortable to participate in league and tournament play? We kind of touched on a little bit of that, but what do you think, foreseeing wise, what do you think more of us should do to make it more comfortable for these new players to come in?
So I've talked to a lot of the intermediate girls and the advanced players, and the biggest things they kept saying was being recognized on the course, feeling welcomed. Also, a lot of the times, like if you're winning your first intermediate tournament ever, like make sure that you're making a big deal out of that, because that's a big deal for them. You know, when you finally work hard and you finally place like you can play, like it's exciting, and we should be excited for them and pass that along.
It's true. Yes, I agree.
Anything else?
I think that's a great wrap-up question. We really appreciate you wanting to be on Black Zombie TV. We are excited that we're going to do a couple of more interviews with you and some of your and some of the local women with the Utah women, and get you guys excited and growing women in disc golf and sharing your stories with other people around the country doing the same thing. And we might be able to grow women into disc golf where they're going to take over the guys.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to give this information to some of the people out there that can, take it and run with it. Because I think the more we have this conversation, this conversation is kind of new to us. We've talked about it behind the scenes, like how do we get more women to play? But it's kind of nice to actually get information from you. Other people might listen or hear this and have more information or spread that and say what works or what doesn't work.
Yeah, I'd also like to add that, like, getting a lady to run ladies' night is huge, because a lot of them feel a lot more comfortable that way. If my husband, who is a phenomenal player, if he were to run it, I think people might be a little more nervous because he can throw at 400, 450. It's not quite as relatable.
Yeah, that's why we have, like, whenever I teach people how to play disc golf, when they're new, I suggest that they bring someone that's never played either, and then they become disc golf buddies, and they grow together so that they're not intimidated by someone that that can throw way further than them. When they're growing together and learning how to throw it, and then they're like, oh man, look, I finally got it to go straight. And they're like, how'd you do that? And they're like showing each other. And it's not like you sitting there watching some guy throw 400 feet every shot and you like throw, 100 feet every,
Yeah, absolutely. Because like with my husband, things that are understable for him are not understable for me. So it's also good to have someone in the same wheelhouse so you can be like, well, what should I throw here? What's going to work? And that's another thing I like about ladies' night is I can get the right discs into their hands that are going to work for them.
Yeah, let's you know what, the next interview that we do, let's talk about disc and maybe tee boxes, and we'll start off with those on our next interview.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Ashley.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.